I ran out of content and I wanna put videos on this channel, so time for a tier list. Just how difficult bosses are in r5ab, which is 5th Pantheonal Bindings hit list. The tiers are pretty self-explanatory, just from hardest to easiest. Um, so let's start with number 1, Wedge Flaking is just free as fuck. The only reason you will get hit is probably because you just lost and want to do another run, and like you're trying to rush nails when they maybe like start attacking, or like you do like a overly aggressive pogo dash pogo stuff. I don't know, stuff like that. But like you shouldn't get hit on this guy. Like you get hit because you're trying to rush. Same thing with Grass Mother. As long as you like barely respect her when she starts an attack, just like have some safety distance as she's about to start an attack, and you're good. Um, Second False Knight, probably the easiest one so far. Where is it? Where is False Knight? Oh. Yeah, this is just a algorithmic boss basically. Then this guy, same thing. I would say, I mean, I guess technically a tiny bit harder, but still free as fuck. Same thing, nail, 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 spell, repeat. Um, Hornet 1, free as fuck. I do a combo where like I stagger him over and over again, and if you fail, she can land of you on you. But like if you don't count that, and if you don't want to do that, then she's free as fuck. The startup on her moves is just like massive. You just cannot get hit. I would say like here or something. Then we have Gorb. Gorb is probably like the hardest one so far. I don't know if it. So you have 3 platforms, and I don't know. He just goes around and does needles. So the boss fight is kind of like annoyingly long for like how dumb the fight is. This boss has like a lot of HP for kind of no reason. Meteor Cyclone is pretty good for like doing a lot of damage, if not dash slash, great slash. But I mean, I'm gonna put it in the bottom of right just because like it's a bit trickier than the rest. I took a bit just to learn this fight, how to optimize the damage, so I don't think it's like as free as the rest. Next we have Dung Defender, which is free as fuck. I don't know, you just descend in dark this guy, you just descend in dark, full cyclone, repeat. Um, Put it here or something. I mean, it could go wrong if you fuck up the descending dark and he starts throwing dung balls and then you panic, but that shouldn't happen, period. That shouldn't even happen, so but yeah. Then we have Soul Warrior. Soul Warrior is like not probably the hardest one so far. Where is it? Where are you? Here it is. Um, I think Soul Warrior, as long as you're not like overextending the Cyclone Slashes. Um, so like for example, when he does so like the fastest way to do him is you just charge up the Cyclone. You stay at the wall. If he like goes at you, you cannot dash through him, or like yeah, you cannot dash through him, or like if he goes from above, you cannot walk past, and then you pin him to the wall with the Cyclone. But like if he does that, and during that the Cyclone he spawns the mistake at a specific timing, then it can get tricky. But like I think it's alright. Like there's no big danger really. Like as long as you make sure to hit the mistake. If you miss a nail on the mistake, it can get devastating, but that shouldn't happen. Then we have Brooding Molek, which is it's a very dynamic fight actually. But the way I do it is like I kind of nail, jump, like nail, jump, nail, dodge the claw, nail the dark, repeat, something like that. I kind of fully explain it, but this fight is easy. Yeah, I'm just gonna put in alright. I don't know what else to comment. The fight is pretty. It's pretty easy. He doesn't even have much HP. Yeah, whatever. Let's put it like here. Then we have. Actually, I think it's easier than. Nah, like this is fine. Then we have Oremato. Oremato is probably the hardest one so far. So I might even put in tough. Nah, mid is fine. Um, so I mean, when there's only one guy, it's just a meme. When there's two guys, it can get pretty tricky. So you have two options. You either play more aggressively and go at the center, which I kind of really recommend you do, because otherwise the fight is gonna last forever. Um, but like it's being aggressive is kind of weird because if you have the descending dark, you're Gucci because you just de-dark when you're like in between them. If you don't, you have to react to the slash. If they slash towards you at the center, you have to dash through, which is it's not hard. It's not hard at all, but like that alone separates him from alright, I think, because you kind of just have to react pretty like kind of sharply to it. Then what else? Yeah, there can be some stupid shit going on where like one of them charges an art and the other one jumps, and the other one can jump on top of you, and it's kind of hard to see where they land actually because like they jump so fast and so high up at the sky that like you cannot. It's hard to calculate exactly where they land like right away, so that can fuck you also. Is there anything else that I'm missing that can be tricky? I think just mainly these things. Okay, then we have Xero. Um, Xero is kind of awkward. It's a pretty short fight if you just know how to like use this. Sorry, Shriek, or even just fireballs is okay. Um, I use a Great Slash, but the only awkward part is like the swords, like mainly when they come back, they're kind of awkward, especially if they come back at weird angles. But part of the skill is set up the fight in a way that they don't come back in an awkward angle and make it easier for yourself. So I'm just gonna say like bottom of mid probably. It's not that bad, but just gotta focus a bit, let's say. Um, Crystal Guardian, I don't see where. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I'm just gonna put this guy. Assume it's Crystal Guardian. Oh, that's the. Okay, I see where the other is. Crystal Guardian is interesting because the fight is super short, but it can be really bad with patterns of lasers, um, where you can do like the stomping on the ground and the lasers. So I think I'm gonna put it on alright. I think it's harder than all of these ones though, just because it can do that shit and that's pretty dumb. The laser, like it seems like a stupid attack, but like even if you always have the dark for it, then it can be like awkward even after the iframes run out. At least for me, it's kind of weird sometimes. Also, his empty hop is pretty fast too. It's a bit it's not hard, but like not even close to hard, but it's all free. Um, Soul Master is just free. Um, I don't know. This guy's low as fuck. I don't understand how you get hit by it. I mean, just like by distraction, obviously. Like you have to fuck up very badly. Let's say I don't know. I'm just gonna put it like here or something. No, actually, yeah, whatever here. Then we have Blood Bolts. Blood Bolts is probably the first tough. It might be like, yeah, no, I think Blood Bolts is pretty tough. Huh? So I think Blood Bolts is like, I find equally difficult when there's two and there's one of them. When they shoot slowly, but sometimes they can corner you. So I think a lot of the Blood Bowls fight, when you get better, you understand that sometimes when they're like about to get you on the corner, you just like go away and not even attack them and wait for a better opportunity. Once you understand that, it's much better. But I think the way I fuck up the most, actually, now that I think about it, is when there's only one of them, and I just fuck up the combo somehow. Like where like I psych, so like there's like a neat repeat combo you can do on Oblobos when there's one of them, which is they go at the top, you full cyclone when they finish shooting, so like you go down with them, dash away, wait for the spit, dash slash in, and shriek and repeat. But you can fuck it up if you like cyclone too late. So like you don't leave in time, you don't dash away in time. And that combo is like very good, but also like kind of like somewhat tight. So I'm just gonna put it in like, and like the boss's fight itself is also kind of tight in the way that the shots are kind of scary. They're pretty fast. So I'm just gonna put it like at the bottom of tough for now. Where did I put the? Here it is. Then we have Sisters of Battle, which is alright. I think the Sisters of Battle, you shouldn't really fuck it up. The only way you can fuck it up, actually there's two ways you can fuck it up, is first one, if you kill one of them and they desync, some bad shit can happen. But it's pretty rare, to be fair, that a bad desync, like not only a desync has to happen, but it has to happen like a very poor desync, where you just like unlucky as fuck. And also, the other way you can get hit is if you do the bad the recoil shenanigan where you try to nail. How do I explain this? You try to nail a sister towards the stage, towards the inside, and the recoil pushes you to the side, and you get hit immediately from a sister spawning like right below you as you recoil into it. But the real advanced play is like to just not nail when that positioning is the case. So as long as you know that, then it's fine. It's pretty easy fight. It's just a bit long, but even if, how long it is, it's pretty easy to execute. So I'm just gonna put it like, here. Then we have Marmo, probably the first rank killer. Even though I would probably put it at the bottom of rank killer because, yeah, okay, sure. If she can like fly everywhere, like it's very chaotic and shit. But so you have like two main strats you can do here. There's kind of like two philosophies about it. You can side slash and up slash. I'm personally fan of the side slash more. And also I have optimized the fight in a way where I implement great slash a lot of the times and Descending Dark. So this guy just, or girl, this chick just melts pretty fast. Also, like a little minor consistency optimization is just dashing through her when she spawns, because when she spawns, you don't know where she's gonna go exactly. So you, in doubt, you just always dash through her. So like as long as you know all of these things, the fight is actually like very short. Can still happen some cases where she goes with like extremely cringe angles, so that's why I still run killer, but not as bad as one time, I would say. Like I used to have a lot of problems on this fight. And it's saying a lot the fact that she's still on run killer. Like she used to be so bad. But yeah, then we have Marmo is like just free, probably the freest boss, or like I don't know here. So I don't know, whatever. So actually, it's kind of interesting because like Marmo, even if I start the fight with the spells, with a spell, I still cyclone at the beginning, because if you alternate cyclone spell, you like it syncs up better with the minions shooting. So one time I entered the fight and I had the shriek and I just shrieked immediately and then cyclone. But like the minion spawned and that fucked me up. Like I had to like stop the Cyclone and like do all of good stuff. So like as long as you know that, then you're good. You just Cyclone every time. Cyclone, then Shriek, Cyclone, Shriek, dead. Broken Vessel, wait, is it this? I think it's this, yeah it is this one. Um, Broken Vessel is like, it's so slow that it's just hard because it's, no, not really, it's just, so it's slow, it's easy, but like, the only time that it's a bit stressful is when he does the drops coming from the floor. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, the drops coming from the floor, where you the main strat is like to pogo on him and descending dark. It's not hard, but it's like just a bit stressful. So it's going in alright. It's not hard, but like that thing alone is not making it free for me. I'm gonna put it like here, whatever. Then we have Galleon, probably the hardest boss so far. This guy fucking sucks. The sights are like the least problem. The biggest problem with this fight is that the boss itself moves so fucking chaotically, and it can just like, with the sights, it can just trap you. And oftentimes, so like I still don't really know how to do this fight. So like, if you shriek, so if you do a repulsive shriek, and that is a shriek facing left, you often do like less damage. If you do a track test shriek, you often hit all 4 or 3 hits. But it's a bit riskier because he can just like randomly be super fast and come at you while you do that. So managing that is tough because like it moves so erratically, honestly. Like I don't even know how to handle this fight super well. I mean, the problem is like you can be safe until the cornering happens, where like he goes at the corner. I mean, and sure, you can just wait for him, but like there's still gonna be situations where the sights and him are gonna force you to like go more to just burn out your Shade Cloak and the Sending Dark and stuff. And or maybe you don't have the Sending Dark because you use the spell, and like I mean, you could do this fight without the spells. Maybe that's what I should try to do, but even then, if you don't do it with spells and like have the Sending Dark, you kind of need good reading on the screen to understand where to the Sending Dark. It's pretty high level stuff. That it's pretty like high level stuff actually, like being able to do the Sending Dark on this guy for defensive reasons. Um, because most of the time, just as Shade Cloak works, so I guess maybe you'd Shade Cloak and then the Sending Dark. I guess, yeah, that's what you will do. You Shade Cloak the Sending Dark, but it's still tough. Um, so Shio is just free as fuck. It's very deterministic fight, like he always does the same things basically. If you're close to him, he dashes back unless there's a wall behind him, in which case he jumps. All the attacks are pretty easy to avoid. Actually, the only case where it's a bit trigger is when he does the paint, the pink paint, and then he jumps. And if you don't have the Sending Dart doing that, I think that alone is gonna make him like alright, not free. Because that thing in particular is a bit tricky. Um, then we have Hive Knight. So Hive Knight, I've been debating on whether I just have a huge skill issue on this fight or it's actually like pretty fucking hard. Because like when he does the combinations of either bees and he jumps or like charges, or spike balls and he jumps and like stuff like that is just fucking annoying, honestly. It covers a lot of space. It's like there's only like one thing you have to do and you have to read the screen very faster. And sure, I know you can descend in dark everything, but so like for example, you can descend in dark like on the spike balls, you descend in dark after the first ball, so you dodge the first ball, then you descend in dark through the second and third, but then he still can jump, like so you have to react to that. For the bees, it's just a fucking mess. Yeah, you descend in dark, but then there's still some bees left. I think I'm just gonna put it at the bottom, at the top of tough. It's definitely tough. It's not a hard, easy fight at all. Elderhu is just free. You just shake cloak through the bracelets. Collector is definitely the next run killer. Even though I recently got very good at it, I still will say it's a run killer. Actually, harder than Marmor for sure. So the fight is much better once you learn how to manage the soul and how to optimize the DPS. I would say these two things are like very, very important. In phase 1, it doesn't even matter what you do. You can Cyclone, you can Great Slash, as long as you take out the single minion, it's fine. In phase 2, I do like full Cyclone, basically every time. Actually, I don't do Cyclone if I have two-thirds of a spell, so basically a Great Slash and then Descending Dark or Fireball. What else is there to say? Like, this fight is just like, if you know how to nail the guy properly, he dies pretty fast. He doesn't have much health. And optimize the stagger combos too, like where he staggers, then you dream nail, 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 shriek, nail the opposite side. There can be patterns that fucking sucks. I mean, obviously that's why it's in rank killers. Some minions just can, like some jars can be very separated from each other, like spawn two primal aspects, or like even like a mosquito and a primal aspect, you're fucked. So that's why it's there. But like, if you manage the souls, you can like focus on one jar, cycle on one jar, have two-thirds of a spell on one jar. Then there's like maybe like only one minion left, and then you take it slow. You kind of like stay away from it, wait for a better situation, then do one nail fireball to clear the rest on the next wave. That's usually what I do. Like I kill one of them, leave one of them alive. Like if I don't have the soul, what I do is like I kill one of them, often leave one of them alive. If I don't have the soul, I mean. And then like I wait for the next wave, and on the next wave I do nail and fireball and kill everything, or like nail and descending dark, whatever. Yeah, that's it. And then God Tamer is just free. Like once you know that you just can't stay, you can just stay on the walls and basically you're untouchable, and you just dash away when the beast goes at you. So yeah, I think it's like top of 3 though, because there's like a specific case that I'm thinking of where like the tamer can jump as you're trying to go away from the wall, you're trying to dash away, but like even that can be covered with a slightly different mix-up of like when to go away from the wall. So it's whatever. Like, just have to be careful of that. Yeah, sure. Then we have Grim. Grim is free. Where is Grim? Grim is free. Like, there's not much else to say. Every attack is like deterministic and easy to dodge. Sure. Go next to the big boy. Okay. Watcher Knights is quite tough. The fight isn't too complex. It's just like it's very long, and you're bound. Yeah, like it's so long that you're bound to get weird situations where like oftentimes you're like at the corner, and they're like both of them are like at surrounding you at the corner. So like you kind of need to have sharp and good read on what's going on the screen and react accordingly, like shade cloak at the correct timing and shit. So yeah, probably tough. And very long boss fight, by the way. Like this boss fight is super long. As I was saying, there's a cool combo you can do on Watcher Knights where you can like assume you're descending dark on top of one of them. You up nail while walking away, then you side nail while jumping, and you pogo, and you do another descending dark. That's what Remto does, for example, in his clear of r5ab. But I found that a bit tough on the second time you do it, because like for each time you do it, you're like slightly more behind the rhythm of the attack he can do. So he, on the second time you do that, he can actually like jump at you if you don't do it fast enough, and like jump at you while you're doing this descending dark on top of him. So I don't go for that, but even without that, you can just like cyclone slash him, great slash him, just use nail arts, just use basic fireballs, and yeah, still a pretty nice way to do the fight. Then we have Umu. Where is Umu? Umu is probably like, it's not a easy, or sorry, it's not a hard fight at all. You can panic because like maybe you're like in awkward situations where you've never been before, like positioning. But in the way I do it, you kind of always in the same position. So I'm just gonna put it in mid, but yeah, mid is fine. Just gonna put it like here. The fight is pretty short. Once you get like in two jellies is basically that. So yeah, just just gotta be patient for two jellies. Sometimes like he can spawn like jellies and you don't have the correct positioning to like manage. So you just wait. You just wait until you find a good positioning for the jellies to throw one of them at her, him, her. I don't know. Um, it. So yeah. Win Nosk. Win Nosk is weird because like it's super easy for unless like one thing which has a very like minor chance it can just fuck you. I'm gonna put it in alright because it's just like that thing that can happen. So like the juice falling from the ceiling, where like the ceiling, like they fall in a way that they cover like both like next to your left and next to your right, so they kind of just trap you. I mean, yeah, it can happen, but like it's super rare, and I do kind of like a little strat that makes me dodge it more cleanly, where I go off stage and dodge it off stage. But I mean, it's so rare anyway, so yeah, just alright somewhere. I don't know, somewhere here. I don't know honestly. Next we have Sly. Sly is pretty. It's not hard, but like there's some specific case scenarios where, especially if I'm stressed, I kind of tend to leave a Sly earlier. So like when Sly doesn't attack and you great slash to punish. I mean, at least that's what you should do in where did I put Sly? That's what you should do in r5ab. Um, you great slash to punish. Do like I do like a great slash and a nail mostly to punish and fireball. Um, but then if you after an attack, if you leave too early, then what can happen is that he can just like run at you, great slash you while you're at the corner. In that situation, the if that happens, you still have a play, like which is to dash through him, and then he cancels the attack. But it's just scary. It's something that happens so rarely and scary. So I'm just gonna and like overall the fight is like it's not like fast paced, but it's a very positional fight. And in general, like a positioning fight like this, you can kind of like lose track of it if you're nervous. So I'm just gonna put it in mid. Um, yeah, let's say here, whatever. Then we have Hornet Sentinel is pretty annoying to deal with. So it's not too bad. Um, so the boss fight has not much HP at all. She's very frail. Um, but we do like in r5ab you do like very little damage with her because like being safe at Hornet Shoe means that you basically do like 1 or 2 nails and go away every time. Uh, so thank God she has little HP, so the fight isn't too long. Every time you stagger her, you can Great Slash, so that's some extra damage. She jumps, she probably jumps over you, so you kind of Great Slash and then nail the opposite side. That's free like what 55 damage. No, cannot count. 45 damage. So yeah, at least there's that. Tricky, like the spike balls that she can spawn are not really tricky at all. I think that's not even why she can be tough. But I think I don't know. The reason she's tough to me is like the fight is long. You need to be close to her because without range up, you have to be like much closer to her. Sorry. Um, so where was I? Oh yeah. I think the reason the boss fight is hard in general is because you have to like be closer to her than if you don't have Mark of Pride, and you have to be react sharply to when she charges at you because she's very fast. So for that alone, I'm gonna put her in tough. Um, is she? I think she's tougher than Oblabos. And yeah, I'm gonna put her somewhere here. Actually, I think it's tougher than even Watcher Knights. Then we have I mean this guy. It's just same with this. Actually, there's like a tiny difference where Enraged Guardian at the very beginning of the fight, it does a scream. And since there's like a bench right before you can start the fight at full soul, and during the scream you can just get a free shuriken, and mind you they both have the same HP. So like basically, you start this fight with like he has like a bit less HP just because you can do that, but you cannot do it with this guy because when this fight starts, he doesn't do the little tap dance where you just this one does, and you can just get damage on him while he does that. Just free damage. Then Lostkin. Lostkin is I don't know. Like Lostkin for me is not hard. Probably like another mid. It's like probably top of mid. Like Lostkin is a very like difficulty wise is a very erratic fight. Like there's times where it can be like free as fuck the whole time. Just times where like you can get a very weird positioning over and over again. Yeah, I don't think it's hard. I would also say I'm also pretty like good at the fight. So I don't know, like somewhere here is fine. The infection bubbles create some interesting scenarios because they always spawn like in different places and stuff, and they mix with attacks in a different way. So that's the difficulty of the fight, understanding like how to react for each scenario, how to react in the most efficient way. Next, no eyes. So if I ever get hit on no eyes on a run, I'm gonna fucking end it, honestly. This fight is just easy as fuck. You just stay at the center. It's not that easy, but like it's this easy. Like you just stay at the center of the arena, and you wait for her to spawn on top of you. You Great Slash, or and like Shriek, or even up top left spawn is fine. And you just repeat this until she dies. Like she's honestly easy as fuck. Then we have a Trader Lord. So Trader Lord is my PB. Maybe I'm a bit biased, but I don't think Trader Lord is like free. Trader Lord is probably like either top No, actually, I think it's free. Like, I'm just bad. Like, I just fucked up a lot. Like, I think Trader is like top of free because like Trader can do can do like a couple, can cook a bit. This guy can cook. Like, so there's like a interesting thing with Trader where what the fuck, man. Nice. I like this one. Um, so Trader is weird because he can walk for kind of like I don't know. He can like walk pretty unexpectedly. I don't even remember how it works. I think once he reaches like once you do like half health or something, he can start walking stuff like that. But even then I've seen him like walk even before. I don't know. But yeah, basically he can just walk at you. So the counterplay to that is just doing one side nail and then retreating. But even that, like if you do that, then your DPS is just gonna be like shitty. So yeah, sure. Like you do one nail, then Pogo, Descending Dark, and sometimes there's also the fact that after you Descending Dark, if he does the shockwaves when you Descending Dark, oftentimes you're like in a fucking super awkward position where like he's next to you doing the shockwaves, you're in iframes, you don't have enough iframes to go through him, through the shockwave, sorry. So you kind of like walk away, dash inside, but then dashing inside you kind of risk hitting him, like going at the boss. Sometimes that can happen. The counterplay to that is actually pretty interesting. You kind of just dash away and dash away again, and then you dash in with a new shake look. But like, I've never done it so far, but I realize that's the counterplay. But yeah, I mean it's free. I don't know why I talk so much about this guy. It's just a fucking guy with two moves. Yeah, I'm just gonna put him like here or something. Yeah, sure. Um, White Defender. So White Defender is kind of like in r5ab, White Defender is basically you doing, at least the way I do it and the way I kind of feel most, like I try very different playstyles on him. The way that I'm best at it is if I kind of play like passive and use my spells to break the dunk balls, use my D-Dark to like avoid when he comes off the ground, stuff like that. I do stuff like that. I give up on damage with spells. In order to kind of just wait for him to do the volleyball and just kill him on the volleyball, honestly. Like, I don't even use the spells on him. I just use them defensively. Dodging the attacks itself is kind of like with this in mind, with the fact you can just spell you can just use iframes or like shriek the dunk balls. So no, actually, I kind of like I like shrieking the dunk balls the most. I don't even need dark on when he goes on the ground, but shrieking the dunk balls is pretty good. So with this in mind, I think it's like it's either like top of or right or bottom of mid. Because I mean yeah, the guy is pretty fast. He needs sharp reactions, kinda good reading on the dunk balls if he gets the dunk balls. I'm trying to think if there's like specific scenarios. Nah, I think I'm just gonna put it. Just gonna put it at the top of right. Then we have Soul Tyrant. Soul Tyrant is scary as fuck, honestly. Like just because of the second phase. So the second phase, he comes off the ground and sorry, what the fuck did you say? The second phase, he just teleports and slams the ground. You can do like a super sharp combo. That it's not that hard, but it's you might fuck it up honestly. Like where you jump up slash dash side nail, repeat, and if you have the soul, you shriek and shake cloak through instead of doing the nails. This way you do a fuck ton of damage, and you do less of the second part of the fight, which in my opinion is like scary as fuck, where he spawns the orbs. Also, there's like a little glitch that can happen, where the orbs that spawn don't have a queue, they just spawn immediately frame 1. They don't have that little glow effect, they just appear, which is bullshit. Yeah, that part is hard as fuck because like you can shriek, but like you have to do it so fast. You have to like react to an orb that is in a good position. You shriek immediately, like realizing the orb is far enough. Um, and then you like if the second orb spawns next to you, then you probably have to shake cloak immediately as you see it. Like it's not worth it to just shrieking is just not worth it on this fight. I think on the second part, I mean, when he spawns the orbs. So you gotta just like Descending Dark, honestly. And with the damage you did on the first part, you kinda just Descending Dark and keep dies early probably. He's probably just dead at that, like with a couple Descending Darks. So I'm gonna put this fight in. I'm gonna put this fight in mid. Yeah, mid is fine. I think it's like. I think it's like somewhere here. We have Markov. Markov is like fucking long. That's like the main problem with it. So I do the strat where like I just dash slash. I dash slash once when he expands the shield, and I dash slash another time when he compresses the shield. So I do two dash slashes per phase. I don't really do, and I don't plan on doing great slashes at all. Because even in the cases that even you know what, even in the cases where great slash can hit, fine, you hit them, sure, and you don't get hit back, right? But if you manage to land a great slash, it means the boss is close to you. And if you're like at the corner and the boss is close to you, that's just automatically scary as fuck. Like even just that. It doesn't matter if you with a great slash you don't get hit, but like being that close to the boss is just scary. So I just don't plan on doing that. And yeah, the boss fight is gonna be longer, but I prefer that than just being cornered by him. Um, like with the swords that he spawns plus the boss next to you, I just think that's terrifying. But yeah, the boss fight lasts like 8 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how much it lasts, but it's super long. So in tough you go. think uh, I think it's harder than Hornet. Yeah, probably like here is fine. Actually, nah, it's harder than Watcher Knights. Yeah, like this. Top of tough. Um, then we have Zote. Definitely another run killer. Uh, Fight is super long. He has a fuck ton of HP. I mean, just look at me. He's such a Chad. He's so sexy. He definitely has to be a run killer. Then we have no, I'm just kidding. Like I don't know. The fight is um is annoying because of the minions mainly in IMO. Like the minions can just fuck you. So if you start the minions with like and you don't like shriek in time, you don't have the soul or whatever. The fight can get so bad. So even just because of that, I'm putting in round killer. Honestly, I think that's like my only problem with this fight because otherwise I'm pretty consistent at it. Okay, next is failed champion. Failed champion is huh. Failed champion is kind of weird. Like, is it hard? Like, failed champion, the meteorites can get tricky. The rocks falling from the sky, but the hard. You know what? Okay, the most odd thing about failed champion to me is that so there's like a little strat where you kind of manipulate him from side to side to run, and like cyclone slash behind him when he does a jump slam at the corner, and then you repeat it. But that doesn't really work. Like it's not a guaranteed thing because like when you go to the opposite side, he can just he can attack before you reach the opposite side, and so he can not run. He can just like jump slam at you while you try to go to the opposite side, and then he stays at the center, and you just basically cannot do the strat anymore. So that strat doesn't work. But even without the strat, this fight is like you cannot just stay like a mid distance from him, wait for him to like jump at you, and like Yeah, like just wait for him to jump at you, dash through, and great slash, shit like that. And also, once you get the first stagger, he's basically dead. Like once you get the first stagger, you can do like combo at the very beginning. Yeah, like you can get the soul back. You can do a shriek. You can do like a nail. I do like nail, nail, shriek, nail, 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 nail. So 4 nails, 6 nails, one shriek. Dash away. He slams left and right a couple of times. Then dash in and cyclone. So with all of that shit that you do for free after each stagger, there's not much left. It's like 2 great slashes away from like staggering again, basically. So like you just have to survive for like 2 attacks or something when for every stagger. The only hard part is like the first stagger really. So I'm gonna put it in like yeah, where am I gonna put it? I don't know. I think it's like bottom of tough. Let's say yeah, bottom of tough. Yeah. Um, I'm also like excluding nerves. Like I'm assuming I have good nerves on the fight. Um, because realistically, all of these could be like tough and run killers just because I'm like late in the run and I'm shitting myself. But like I'm just kind of not ranking based on how late they are. I think that's kind of lame to do. Just ranking on like how hard the boss actually is. Okay, then we have Nightmare King Grim is alright. Like might be free actually. Like I don't. Yeah, no, it's free. Nightmare King Grim is just like the same every time. Like if you know, like I'm being biased. I was biased into thinking it's alright, but that's just because of nerves. Like the boss fight is like super predictable every time. It just does the same thing every time. Just gonna put it like it's like a tiny bit hard to dodge sometimes, but like no, not really. Like the only thing I'm thinking of is when he does the puffer fish attack where the fireballs just come at you. So when multiple fireballs are at the ground in a row and you have to jump through all of them in a row, you slowly lose. How do I explain it? It's like you need more space for every time you do that. So you get farther and farther away from the boss, and if you're unlucky and you have to jump like 5 times in a row or something, that can get dicey. But it's super rare. But even then, like you should not get hit. That's the only thing I can think of for why it's not hard, but like it's free as fuck, let's be real. For yeah. So next thing is this guy. Um also I just put Nosk instead of Win Nosk, I just realized. Was he here? I don't remember, whatever. Um Pure Vessel is like it's definitely harder than American Grim. Um but not by much. Like I think it's like another so the fight is pretty long. I think it's like bottom of our right. I don't know, kind of algorithmic. It can get tricky if he does like. I'm trying to think. Where can it get tricky? Okay, I'm thinking a couple situations where like maybe he teleports and he's off screen and you don't see exactly if he's doing the the dagger throw, the daggers throw, or the tentacles. If you don't see him, that's scary. So that's why you should stay like to the center if possible, just to see him. Um, aside from that, like I don't know, man. I don't see like it's just like the fight is a bit long and kinda it can get tight at times, but not really. Like yeah, it just nerves. Like how well can you handle the nerves? And the last one is Abstrad. Abstrad is Abstrad is a wrong killer, but I'm trying to think like how high. I think Abstract is probably like easier than all of these except Marmo. I think Abstract is like here. Yeah, like the fight is super long, right? But I developed such a good flowchart that basically like it's not even that long. Like most of the time is the cutscenes and shit. So phase four can be extremely long if she has yeah, phase four can be extremely long if she has bot spawns, but I don't know. I feel like I'm not that scared of Abstract. Like I have a very good flow chart for this boss fight. Like if I get hit, sure, I understand why. I'm probably nervous as fuck. And the fight is very long. It's pretty hard. So like probably the attack that gives me the most trouble is simply just the lasers. Like when she does the triple lasers, the first one of the triple lasers, because the second and the third you basically know where they are not gonna be, so you're just gonna go where they're not gonna be and you're safe. But the first one of the triple lasers, sometimes I don't know, I'm just like my brain dozes for a second and my reactions are not as sharp sometimes. But aside from that, you're good. And the last phase, maybe like if I don't jump correctly over the orb or I don't charge the great slash in time, but nah, that shit ain't happening. Oh yeah, that's it. Um, feel free to like say I'm dumb for thinking that Nightmare King Rim is free or uh, I don't know, Flokumar should be rank killer, haha, shit like that. So yeah, bye bye.